Assalamu alaikum students. Today I am discussing some important questions from White Dolphin with its answers, and I have included open-ended questions which are basically opinion-based questions, and I have included some fact-based questions as well. So let's start with our question number 1. Analyze the significance of Kara's tearing the page of Bible. Does it show her rejection of faith, a cry for attention, or an act of rebellion against institutional authority? So I've answered this question in the following. In my opinion, Kara's tearing of pages shows her rejection of faith. Her mother's disappearance has turned her into a person who has distorted belief, and we see an emotional gap in her personality which imbalances her personality. In chapter 6, Kara is asked by Mrs. Carter that why did she tear the pages of Bible, to which she answered that God didn't answer her questions regarding her mom. So I want you to know this fact that if you are going to answer a question based on your opinion, you have to prove your opinion with proper logic and evidence from the novel. And without evidence and proper logic, your answer is incomplete. It is considered incomplete. What does the dolphin in prologue foreshadows its role in Kara's life? So basically, dolphin didn't appear physically didn't appear in the prologue of this novel. Basically, we came to know that Kara had this dream of encountering the white dolphin. So basically, the question is based on the dream. How does this dream foreshadow the life of Kara? The dolphin in the prologue of White Dolphin by Gill serves as an important symbol and a powerful foreshadowing device for the rest of the novel. This moment feels magical, dreamlike, and deeply personal. The dolphin symbolizes Kara's deep emotional bond with the sea, hinting at how the ocean will play a central role in shaping her identity and personal journey. Question number 3. If you were in Kara's place against the bullies, how would you react? So it's a totally opinion-based question, and your answer depends upon your own perspective. I am writing my own. If I were in Kara's place against the bullies, I would have ignored their presence and would have complained to the authorities. I would have encountered them through proper channel. Question number 4. Rewrite the Bible tearing page of scene from the perspective of Jake exploring his potential motivations. It's basically a creative writing based question in which student has to write the complete scene of tearing the page from the perspective of Jake instead of Kara. So as we already know that Jake is a villain type of a person, and he has some evil thoughts, you can say, behind tearing of the Bible. I slammed the book shut. The dusty old thing felt heavy in my hands, words that were meant to bring peace, forgiveness, and hope, but none of that had ever made sense to me. I didn't mean to rip it, but once I started, I couldn't stop. The pages tore so easily, like they were ready to be torn, and to admit that the life is not fair. Not everything can be fixed with just words in an old book. I tore another page of the book. I held it in my fingers. It fluttered like a desperate bird to escape. I think to myself, holding Kara in my hands, who is twisting and turning in pain at my hard grip. Then I tore this page into tiny pieces and threw it in the air. Every piece of it twisted and stumbled in the air, going nowhere. I don't know why it gave so pleasure. So what are the important themes introduced in chapter 1 and its prologue? So the themes are theme of nature as healing, theme of bullying and isolation, theme of loss and grief, which I have discussed in the summaries of chapters from 1 till 10 in detail. So I'm going to read out these answers to you. This theme is quite evident in Kara's deep attachment and connection to ocean and wildlife, the dolphins. Kara feels that she belongs to ocean. The dolphin represents healing and fragile beauty of nature. Then comes this theme of bullying and isolation. Jake and Ethan bully Kara and makes fun of her financial situation at home by saying that his dad will buy their precious boat and will chop it up to use as firewood. He also makes fun of her dyslexia by saying that she is as thick as her dad and both can't write their own names. Misunderstood by her surrounding, and Kara escapes from the school shows that she is a lonely girl who lacks love, understanding in her surrounding. So, this is the theme of isolation, which is the result of bullying and you can say misjudgment by the society. So, the theme of loss and grief. The theme of loss and grief is a phase of life without is Kara's phase of life without her mother, who mysteriously vanished in a wildlife expedition. Question number 6. What happens at the end of chapter 1? So basically this is a fact-based question and it has a regular answer. At the end of chapter 1, Jake calls insulting names to Kara. Thick, as for example, thick and wood plants, which are ignored by her because it's a routine matter. But when Jake tells Kara that his father will buy one and will chop it up to use as firewood, it breaks her silence and patience. She slams the Bible at Jake's face with such force that it broke Jake's nose and he fell down to the ground. Kara escapes the scene and Mrs. Carter arrives at the scene. Question number 7. Why do you think Kara finds it hard to trust people? Do you relate to her or do you trust easily? Which approach is better? So this question has you can say, three questions. For the number one is you have to write down why Kara doesn't trust people, and you have to relate it to your perspective on life, and you have to explain which approach is better, trusting people or not trusting. So in my opinion, Kara finds it hard to trust people because she is misunderstood and misjudged by the society. The constant bullying at school due to her speech disorder and poor financial situation made her isolated. The strained relationships, like living in someone else's home, made her a lone child. Her mother's disappearance made her feel abandoned and deeply insecure. Yes, I can relate to her because trusting people with your personal thoughts is not right at all. People can easily manipulate you, and I think a person shouldn't trust so easily. Question number 8. What do you think motivates Kara so deeply for the environment and the sea creatures like dolphin? Um, this is because of her love for nature and her love for her mother. These are basically two reasons which trigger her to depend on the natural world. Her love for nature, deep connection with the nature, and her love for mother, due to which she continues her legacy. Kara is deprived of peace, warmth, and love at home, and she gets all of it in the company of nature. Dolphin is a source of comfort and solace for Kara. When she stands at the ocean, she is able to breathe all her tensions out. She feels alive and thrive in its company. So the last two lines, I am in the last two lines, I am referring to the prologue in which Kara has this dream of seeing the standing at the shoreline and encountering the white dolphin. Do you think people judge others too quickly based on appearance? Can you relate it to your society? So again, this question has two parts, and you have to answer both of the parts properly. It is for sure that people judge too quickly based on appearance. This scenario is now a universal fact these days. There are many social experiments on media that if a person is dressed as a beggar enters a restaurant, he is either thrown out or he is seen to be licking out the plates with the leftover food by people who can afford such luxuries. Our society is full of countless examples which shows people judge you on surface level. Nobody has time to look for the inner beauty, and so the Pakistani drama, now I am referring to the Pakistani literature, and that's not compulsory that you have to relate to this drama. I am just broadening your vision regarding this theme. The Pakistani drama Parizad shows the life of a person who has ugly appearance and is treated worse than an animal by the society, even by his own family. People judge others on their appearance, and that's a universal truth these days. Question number 10. Kara's mother disappeared mysteriously. Do you think the novelist is going to solve this mystery by the end of novel, or this case remains unresolved. So this question asks you the fact that is the writer going to solve the mystery of Kara's mother disappearance or not? In my opinion, this is again opinion based question. You have your own perspective on it. You should have your own perspective on it. I am just sharing my own. In my opinion, the novelist will resolve this mystery of Kara's mother disappearance by the end of the novel because it will add to the emotional journey of Kara from grief to acceptance. This theme of acceptance is very important in the emotional journey of Kara. She will get to know something about her mother which will help her accept the fact that and move on in life. Now coming to question number 10. This is basically a lengthy video based on all the questions and these questions are based not on just 1 till 10 chapters, but it covers almost the whole novel, and I'll share further questions when I get to complete the rest of the chapters as well. How did her mother disappearance affect Kara? Is this effect positive or a negative one? Again, this is an opinion based question. You should have your own opinion on it with proper evidence to your answer. In my opinion, it seems that Kara's mother disappearance impact Kara's life both in a negative and positive ways. It will not be wrong to say that it affected her more in a positive way. Negative way in a sense that Kara became more isolated and violent. She suffered a lot and didn't move on in life. Her life got stuck in a moment her mother disappeared. Positive in a way that Kara experienced life without any protection and she came out all of these sufferings as a strong survivor. Surviving skills are very important in a person's life. She wouldn't have learned these skills if she remained a protected child like Daisy. So this is my perspective on Kara's disappearance, Kara's mother's disappearance and its effect on Kara. What is cerebral palsy? And I need not to explain this again. Question number 17. In your opinion, why the novelists want to introduce the characters with physical and other disorders like dyslexia? What might be the objective? The novelist want to raise this point that society's treatment of people with some defects need to be changed. Kara saves Jake from the storm by sailing the boat, whereas Jake clings to Kara for his survival. Jake, who is considered to be a normal person without any defect, wouldn't have survived the storm for sure, but he didn't have the skill of surviving. Felix is able to resolve the mystery of Kara's mother's disappearance and helps Kara in protecting the bay with his computer skills. So you can say Kara and Felix both have disabilities, but both are, you can say, exceptional in their own ways. We should accept, understand, respect, and appreciate people who have some sort of defects. So this is the main objective of the novelist. Have you ever felt like an outsider? How did you feel? How did you deal with it? So I depend on your own opinion regarding this question because this is totally based on your own experience. What role does sea creatures play in the life of characters? Is it just a setting? The novelist always choose a setting which is in accordance with the theme and main objective. So it is more than a setting which helps the novelist prepare an emotional groundwork for the novel. Since it's a fishing community the novelist is focusing at, so the sea and wildlife is a source of living for people. But for Kara, it's more than a living. She lives in the ocean and the whole ocean breathes in her. White Dolphin brings Kara to life after her mother's disappearance. It gives her a new way of looking at life, which is positive one. It helps her accept the fact that her life must go on and no one can stick to one's life traumas. Baby Dolphin learned to survive without her mom and is happy and settled. So nature has a message not just from her mother, but beyond that. It has a message for Kara. It has a message for Kara that she must move on in life. Sorry for the textual issues. Explain the following themes with evidence from the novel. So these are some of the themes which are very much important, and you need to know all of these themes and with proper evidences from the novel. What is the name of their boat? What is its symbolic significance to Kara? The name of the boat is Moana. It has a symbolic significance to Kara as it is a way for Kara to escape the torturing realities of her life. She is closely attached to boat because it was made by her mom and dad, and it's a remembrance of her old happy days with her mom and dad. Kara sleeps in it as if cradled in her mother's lap. Kara sleeps in Moana's home. In your opinion, is it okay to stick to one's past traumas or to move on, forgetting all about it? Give reference from the novel. In my own opinion, it's good to remember one's own roots, but it's not good to stick to one's past life traumas. It only brings grief and pain. A person should accept the reality and move on. This is the beauty of life, which is represented in the last chapters of the novel, with the baby dolphin settled in the big ocean without its mom. Besides White Dolphin, what other things represent a message or a sign sent from her mother? Do you trust its authenticity, or is it just make up beliefs of Kara? So we have a list of you can say different messages through natural aspects. Cowrie shell. Kara finds cowrie shell and believes it to be a sign from her mom. Kara's dreams. Her dream when she is half asleep at midnight, and that her mother is calling her and in the ocean, and she wakes up and leaves instantly and finds her mother dolphin there. The wind, the gentle touch of wind seems to whisper to her that her mom is guiding her. The sea is the place where she finds her mom spiritually. The white dolphins has a special message from her mother. Boat Moana is a source through which she can feel if she feels that she can connect to her mom. Who built the boat Moana? What pictures are carved on it, and by whom? Moana was built by her mom and dad, and dolphins' pictures are carved on it by her mom. In your opinion, Dougie Evans and Jake's troublemaking personalities shaped just out of random hatred, or is this hatred due to family conflict? Are they justifying and nurturing this hatred? Definitely not. It is evident from the chapters that Dougie Evans and Jake's hatred towards Jim Wood family is due to their past life traumas for which they blame Kara's mother. They are of the view that Aaron, Dougie's son, died because of K Wood. According to Kara, Aaron didn't have a life jacket due to which he couldn't survive. Since Dougie, Evan and Jake are troublemakers, they blame Kara's mother for the tragic death of Aaron. So basically they are troublemakers, there is no doubt in it, and they are definitely not justified in nurturing this hatred. They should move on and should not blame the natural disaster to anyone. Jake is an example of exploitation. How does he exploit Kara mentally and physically? Give evidence to your answer. The larger theme of this novel is conservation versus exploitation. Exploitation is represented through the character portrayal of Jake, who exploits Kara mentally by making fun of her financial situation and her dyslexia. He calls her as thick as her dad and calls her useless as two planks of wood. He manipulates her mind by saying that their precious boat will be bought by his father and they will chop it up to use it none other than firewood. He calls her a loser and doesn't spare her in any way. Jake not only exploits Kara but also Felix, who has cerebral palsy. He makes fun of his defective speech and movements in public. He is the most crude and shallow character in this novel. So, the exploitation. What does exploitation mean? Exploitation means the negative use of something. What kind of relationship Kara and her dad has? Though they both are mostly distant and not communicating enough, yet Jim Wood and Kara are emotionally connected and are together as one in the times of chaos. Jim Wood hugs Kara and apologizes to her for disappointing her regarding her mother's return, shows that he has this warmth and empathy, and he truly understands what Kara is going through as motherless child. Though they are both emotionally connected, yet they both have this emotional gap between them, as Jim Wood has learned to let go of past, whereas Kara keeps on arguing that why he has given up on mom. I would call it an emotional gap. Kara is not giving up on lost mother. Is it right or wrong? To stick to one's roots and belonging is an appreciated approach toward life. Kara is justified and praised that she is continuing her mother's legacy of protecting the wildlife, but in my opinion, she is not right in sticking to past trauma, and being stuck in one's past is never a healthy approach towards life. There are many ups and downs in life, and a person like Kara would never be able to lead a happy and satisfied life through these phases unless she moves on. That's all. I hope these questions and answers help you in any way. That's all.